everyone. Welcome to the Light Gate on this beautiful Monday evening, where we're at least. Where the rest of you are, I don't know, but good, whatever that is. We're coming to you from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We're on Facebook, we're on Roku, we're on Rumble, and of course, we're on YouTube. We have a lot coming at us today. I just want to mention our sponsor. Thank you very much, Carnation. Our network loves you guys. Mwah. I love you too. All right, Preston, let's go.
All right. Thank you, Dolly. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on episode 96 of The Light Gate. We're working our way towards episode 100. That'll be a milestone that I can't believe came as quickly as it did. But yeah, thank you. I, of course, am your host, Preston Dennett, along with my lovely co-host. I should just call myself a co-host, really. We're co-hosts. My lovely co-host, Dolly Safran, subject of my book Symmetry, soon to be a sequel. If I can just get it going. Gosh, I'm busy, but I'm working hard at it. And yeah, so happy to see you all. It's because of you we do this show, so thank you so much for joining us. Gonna say hello to you folks because we just love you so much. Come to look at you guys as friends and really family. We have a lovely little community here. So excited about our guest tonight, so I'm not gonna spend too much time saying hello, but I have to spend at least a few minutes. And our first in line on chat is Peak. Happy Lightgate Monday. Welcome back, Heidi. Yes. We have Randy from the Redwoods. We have Josephine McKinnon all the way from Oz, spreading the love. We'll have to watch later Going to Town. Oh yeah, it's morning there, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Scarlet Fire, we are the white hats with our positive consciousness.
Nice.
Yes. Positivity makes a huge difference. You know, there's joy to be had in every day. Hello from the Shire. Oh, I did not know you lived in the Shire.
Oh, nice.
Hello, Jay. Oh, that's Southwest Virginia. I get it. Okay. We have Teresa Levine. We have Michael Kennedy.
Loved Kylie. Yeah.
Oh, Rocco saying hello along with a question. So I'm going to put a little star next to that. Get your questions in early, guys. We love questions. Okay. Owl Man. Hello.
Hello.
Raul, thank you, Raul.
Thank you.
Amazing. Feeling this is going to be a fun show. Thank you, Raul. Means a lot. We love you so much. Your support is truly appreciated. Thank you. Louise, greetings from New Jersey.
Hi.
We have Sunny Burnett.
Hello.
We have Burnt Toast all the way from Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
Yes, I love the smell of toast. So, oh, look at that, Raul. I want to address all the listeners and viewers. Please show your gratitude. Oh, that's so very nice of you. Thank you. And namaste. What would we do without you? We wouldn't be here, I don't think. We love you so much. It was so nice to see your face that one time and meet you. So thank you.
Thank you.
We just think you're awesome and absolutely an extraordinary human being.
Absolutely. Yes.
Louise, thank you.
Hey, Louise.
You're awesome. You guys are amazing. We do appreciate this more than you guys know. Andrew Rollins, all the way from Florida, saying hello.
Cool. Floridian.
Michael Kennedy speaking Danish, something about rain and umbrellas.
It's been raining a lot, and yeah. Lots of rain, apparently. Yes.
All right. Skål. All I know is that's a chocolate bar or something.
No. Skål is like salute, like toast to your skål, to your health, to your life.
Oh, all right. Heidi's nodding in the green room. So we'll get you on in just a second. Central Wisconsin saying hello. We have Sunny Burnett with a lovely donation. Learn something here every week. Oh,
that's
so
nice.
cool.
Thank you very much.
Love that. Got Patsy Foister.
Hi.
And
Yay.
Michael Kennedy, always ready with a question. So he's in line. We got Gizmo. We
Hi,
got
Gizmo.
Groucho Trout. Greetings, fellow beings. Beings of
I want
all.
to say something real quick. Gizmo. I used to have a cat named Gizmo. Gizmo. He was a Himalayan, and he was also part, that really big kind of cat. I can't think of the name of it right now. It was ginormous. So when I see your name, I think of my cat. So thank you. Okay.
Groucho Trout. I'm not sure what that makes me think of. Greetings, fellow beings. We got White Dragon. We got MLSN Webb. Melissa Webb from Philly, not Chile. We got Becky Sloan. We got Z-Sun Dragon. We got Robert Grisma all the way from Connecticut.
Cool. Very cool. They're cold right now.
Janie Mashburn.
Hey,
Always nice to
Janie.
see you here.
Hugs.
April in warm and sunny San Diego. Yeah, California.
Yeah.
One season there. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it does get very hot. I miss it though. Brian W. Good evening, everyone. We got chapter 4444.
Cool. I like that.
Wow, from Portugal. Very cool.
Nice. Wow.
Becky Sloan, Flea Margaret Gold. You guys are amazing. Keith Reed. We got Arvo. Let's go. Becky, thank you. Wow. Amazing. You guys, I just love you so much. I really do. Larissa Marks with a bunch of hearts and wonderful
Thank you.
thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to pull, or let me put a star on that question, Sunny Burnett. Okay, it's time to bring our guest in, so I'm going to go through these last ones real quick. 1:12 a.m. here in Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for staying up. Wow.
We have John P. Adventurous. We have Chris. We have Zane Richard.
Kill.
We have so many people. Randy of the Redwoods, Maine Coon.
Maine Coon. Thank you. That's it. You was half Maine Coon. Yeah.
Jay Heil from Arizona.
Hello.
Fun Talks TV. We have Red Feather 22SA. Always listen to you while I'm working. Oh, very cool.
Very nice.
Okay. Oh, Groucho Trout comes from the Marx Brothers and Kurt Vonnegut. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Get it. Dean Champlain. Gene Chaplain. Love from Australia. Chaplin.
Yes, there you go.
Sorry, Dean, I didn't mean to butcher that. We have Jim. We have KN. We have, I think that's everybody here.
Cool. Okay.
All right, so time to get started. So before I actually bring on our lovely guest, let me tell you a little bit about Heidi Elisabeth Hansen, who is a returning guest. She was on just under a year ago. So lovely, such an amazing person, a true light of love and light on this planet. So I'm really excited to have her back. And if you didn't get the chance to enjoy the previous show we did with her, well, you can definitely look it up in the archives, and we will be talking to her about some of the stuff on that show and some new stuff as well. So let me see. We're going to be talking about ghosts and UFOs and aliens and premonitions and the paranormal and God, source, and so much else. We are so excited to have Heidi back. She's a spiritual writer, had her first ever contact with God at the tender age of 6 months, and has had countless moving, miraculous events and profound spiritual insights. She sure has. Boy, last show was so amazing. It was very poignant. Some of her stories really brought me to tears. The experiences she writes about in her books, shown through the powerful unconscious mind deeply rooted in her connection with God, have taught her many things. One of these was asking God correctly and in detail when something was on her mind. And you'll experience all of this while reading her books. And I'm just going to do a little quote here from Heidi. My humble hope is that my books will take you on a journey that will hopefully positively influence your life. By listening to God, I have not only saved my life, but also the life of my son. Furthermore, I found a lost boy and avoided an assault, just to mention a few events. My books tell the story of a life filled with supernatural events, and several people have asked me to share these experiences with the world. These experiences are real life stories, stories that sometimes can be a little intimidating and very scary to deal with. It is an area that has given me an insight into not being alone in this world and not being afraid of sharing stories with you all anymore. I hope to bring you enlightenment on your path in life so that you too will become a beacon of light that others will be inspired by. Heidi's a Dane lady, managing at the Most Honorable Order of Christian Knights of the Rose. She currently resides in Vordingborg, Denmark. No? Okay, you can correct us. In Denmark. But I do want to read this brief review from one of her amazing books from a reader. This new book I bought really got me sitting on the edge of my chair while reading it. Yet again, like the two other books in this category she wrote, it is so good, fantastic, chilling, and very well written, like you were there yourself. Real life experiences like these are so rare. So thank you, author Heidi Elisabeth Hansen, for raising awareness of these subjects. Yes, do check out her books. We gave some away in the giveaway last show. It was all kinds of fun. We're going to be doing that again one of these days because it was so much fun. But at any rate, before I prattle on too much longer, let me just bring on our lovely guest.
Hi,
Hi,
Hello.
Heidi.
Hello, guys.
Welcome
Hello,
back.
everyone.
First of all, let me thank you for staying up so late.
Yeah.
We've tried to get other guests in Europe to come on, and they're like, "No, I don't want to stay up late." So I really appreciate it because I know how hard it can be to stay up late. So
Yeah.
thank you. It's very, very
You're
kind of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Just curious, what time is it there right now?
It's actually 2:20 a.m. in the morning.
ouch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
Yeah.
even a more special thank you then. I've had to stay up that late when I did Coast to Coast radio show, and
Yeah.
the next day I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. That's why I took the day off tomorrow, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your boss too, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm?
how's the weather there? I'm curious.
Raining.
Ah.
It's actually started to rain again. It's just been a lot, very cold, icy cold here, but now it started to rain again, sadly. Yeah.
Oh.
I love the cold because you can walk out into it. I love it when it's icy cold.
It
Yeah.
snows there, right?
What?
Does it snow in Denmark?
Seldom actually. The last couple of years, almost no snow, but sometimes when it snows, there's a lot of it on a couple of days, and it's all gone again.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janie. That was very kind of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right.
didn't see that.
So, yeah, I know we had you on the show before. It was so wonderful. We really had such a great response from it too. Your stories are so amazing. You're so heartfelt and sweet and kind and interesting and intelligent and giving. I mean, I
Thank
just can't
you.
gush enough about you, Heidi. I seriously think you're just a wonderful person.
Thank you so much.
So, why don't we just start for those who haven't had the pleasure of seeing the previous show? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know your experiences started at a very young age, so
Oh yeah, it
if you
did
want to start there,
actually.
that's fine.
I
But
yeah, I can do that because of course I talked about that on the last show as well. But yeah, it started very early for me because I was only a 6 months old baby when I talked to God for the first time in my life, and I have always been a kind of little a mystery girl because I love being by myself. I love being out there in nature, explore everything. I wanted to be close to God. I wanted to experience everything I could, even the touch of leaves, seeing the birds, the insects, everything out in nature. I felt one with God when I was out there in nature. And I can also tell you, I had that feeling that God has been with me all my life, actually, so far. And I've learned a lot from that because I've known today it's all energy. And we can talk a lot about that as well. But I know today it's absolutely everything is energy. Okay. And I know that for a fact because I actually saw God before me. I've never told that one before. I actually saw God standing before me. And when he did that, I looked deep into his eyes. I felt the love we always feel when I feel God or see God. And his face started to dissolve into little bit pieces. And I understood it immediately that everything is energy, that
Energy.
God is energy as well. That was amazing, guys. And that's what have helped me a lot lately also through the last couple of years. It's amazing to understand things like that. And it has been so all my life. And I have been quite busy, I will say, both in the paranormal world with ghosts and everything, and also here with God and everything as well. I have experienced miracles in my life. It has been an amazing journey so far, guys, and I think it will continue out until I die, I guess. Yeah, because I keep writing, it keeps coming to me. I keep experiencing things. So my life has never been on hold. Well, okay, there has been time we know when I have been a little silence around me, but it's because when you are most silent, so much is developing inside of you. You evolve enormously when the period of time are very quiet. So your life is active. All your life is active, right? And the knowing of that God is inside of you and all around you, and still remember it's energy, energy everywhere, and also become to know that we are the creator ourselves, to understand who we really are and connect to that energy level. Okay, it's something that I could start to think about. And I have experienced a lot also within bullying, because people in the beginning they said, "Oh my God, Heidi is really, crazy because of all what I said, because I did it already when I was a child." So it has not been easy on my parents or my colleagues or any one of my friends, right? But it has been fantastic, and now I'm ready to tell the world about all my experiences. Yes.
Wow,
I'm
that's
glad you're doing
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I admire about you is that we all see things as we come along. Whatever we're born into here is our perspective. Okay, it doesn't mean you know everything. It doesn't mean that you're attuned to everything. It just means that you have a starting point, and then you move forward. Some of us, we all start at different levels in different places, and some people start at a level where they are already spiritually developed enough to when they get here they're already still connected. In other words, they haven't lost that at all. They're working through it still on another level.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to explain to people. And some people are very closed down about it. They don't, it's like when Buddha was talking, unless you knew Buddha and you were around him and saw his spiritual abilities and what he was talking about, it was hard to be told about Buddha. Okay. Because people back then are like, huh? What? Same thing, same thing with other, spiritual leaders. It's really difficult to understand where they're coming from or what their true, what the level they're at. And people don't really hear the messages until they're ready to hear them anyway. And but we shouldn't be very, and here's the one that Jesus Christ himself said, no judgment. Okay, we're not supposed to judge one another in this. This is off limits to us. We should not judge one another, because what you have to say is valuable and important. And there are people who are ready to hear what you have to say. And I'm really glad that you're talking, really talking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I'm curious, just from hearing you, what you said right there, six
Yeah.
months is very young. So you remember all the way down to six
Yeah.
months?
Yeah. And something else also happened, but that it was an experience I had with an alien, because I talked to the aliens, because I also have a close connection to the aliens as well. And I asked them when they started to follow me in this lifetime, because I have a feeling I'm close family somehow to them as well. And they showed me that. And that was actually before I talked to God. So that was very, very early in life, right? And that was an amazing experience. I was hovering there in the air. That's what I saw, just for a few seconds. Not that was it, but he showed me that just for a few seconds. I saw the tall alien standing there. So I think I had that connection with him since I was a little baby as well. And that's why when I had the experience at Grandma's place, I told you about, guys, when I saw the three spacecrafts up there in the
I
sky,
remember that.
that I felt they were friends from another world, right? Um, so I have always felt close to the aliens as well. And I can tell you that just the last couple of years, 5 years, has been intensified a lot with contact and what I see and what I hear from them. It's a fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, so when you saw the ET, what did he look like? Just
Just for me, I was a tiny baby, so he was enormous, right? He was tall to look at. It was a tall gray, or maybe it has been a normal gray to look at, but for me, he was tall because I was tiny baby, right? So it could easily have been a normal size gray alien who was standing there, but I felt it was important, that he was important to me. And I think it's true because otherwise I wouldn't have experienced all what I have throughout life, right? With
Right.
the aliens and UFOs as well. So, yeah.
what's so interesting to me is you're experiencing all of this,
Yeah,
because
I
I've
do.
talked to a lot of people, and yeah, I mean, I will say a lot of contactees do experience a wide
Yeah,
variety of events, but you've really,
yeah, I do.
you've got the encyclopedia here of
Yeah.
supernatural events.
Exactly. Also, with all the ghosts I have told about, all the experience I had in that field as well, it's amazing. I can remember, I will tell you that as well, when the first one, when a ghost touched my arm for the first time, I was at Deal Castle in the UK, in Kent, UK, in 2022, and I felt a ghost touch my arm, and what that made me do was amazing because it was kind of electricity going through me, right? And I felt the love from that entity that was present there. And everywhere I go, and I went automatically, hi there. No, so you are here. Hello there. So I just talked to them again, so naturally. And it was amazing. And they had always been with me as well as since I was a little baby, also at grandma's place. I felt the cold wind over my shoulders and everything. So it started out very early for me in every aspect I'm talking about, right?
That,
Yeah.
I have a question. I
Yeah, of course.
experience all this phenomena as well. You know that.
Yeah, I
And
know.
one of the things that has impressed me over my lifetime is that um, I not only can see them and hear them, but sometimes I am touched by them,
Yeah.
but I smell them too. Do you ever
Yeah.
have that happen to you?
Yeah. Yeah, you can smell them. Sometimes you can feel sometimes it is an old feeling I feel, or smell you can smell from back
Yeah,
time when when they are alive, right?
yeah,
And you can also, with someone tobacco or drink alcohol or
right.
something like that,
You pick up
you
on
can
it.
have that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
What about
Exactly.
hearing? Do you,
Yeah, hearing,
yeah,
exactly,
hear them too. Yeah,
exactly.
they'll talk out loud to you.
so
You can
pretty
hear
much
it.
Oh
all
yeah.
the senses.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. All our
Yeah,
senses are in play. I
yeah,
learned something over the years. When I
yeah,
made the association, the light bulb went off, and I was like, "Oh, I know now." Your psychic abilities
yeah,
include all your senses,
yeah,
elevated to the point of being psychic as well. So when you're using your psychic abilities, you're pulling in all of those senses at the same
yeah,
time, and they
yeah,
are intense. That's why you're able to see auras and you're able to hear them speaking to you, or you see them walk by and you go, "Hey," uh,
exactly.
or they announce with the smells. I've
Yeah.
I've never had a taste in my mouth until
Mhm.
once. I was drinking some water and suddenly the water turned into Kool-Aid. And
Yeah.
and I was like, "What the heck?" I'm looking at the glass. Who put something in my glass? And I realized
Odd.
why am I tasting Kool-Aid? And I get
Yeah.
this laughter behind me, and it's this
Yeah.
young child, and they're laughing because they wanted me to taste their favorite drink, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And I did
Yeah.
when I was
Wow.
drinking the water. And I was like, "Okay, thank you." You
That's
Okay.
amazing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only seen auras once. I had a teacher who I loved, and I was listening to him speak. He had a really good posture, and I was just looking. So I saw his aura on the blackboard, which is a good
Yeah.
background, I guess, for it.
Yeah.
It's only
It
a
is.
few times. I once saw my sister-in-law standing at the top of the stairs, and she was blazing with white light.
Yeah.
But normally I don't see. Have you seen auras then as well?
Yeah, yeah, I have. Exactly. I have seen a lot of it. I've seen green auras, I've seen gold auras, and there are kind
No.
of different kind of auras around people, and it's different. And sometimes I can also see in the aura what the guy or the person has gone through in his life, or they do drugs or something like that.
Yep.
I can see that as well in their aura.
Yep.
Exactly. I can see
Yeah.
that as
Now,
well.
can you
Yeah.
see your own aura? Because see, I can
Um,
see mine 24/7. If I look in a mirror, it's right there. I see it. It
that's
makes me
amazing.
a
I
little
love that.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
I never thought about it actually. I
I,
haven't.
I think
but
if
I
you
would
go,
love to.
yeah, if you go in bed and cover yourself with a blanket and look at your
Yeah,
hands in complete darkness,
yeah,
You can
can
see
that
yeah.
aurora
really?
really bright then,
Have
yeah.
you done
I
that?
will do that. I will do that when I go to bed. Mostly looking at that
Yeah,
to
I've
see
done that. I'm like, wow, I
how
can
my
see my
colors are.
hand. And it has to
Yeah.
be absolute pitch darkness.
Ah, perfect. Perfect. I will do that. I will try that out.
So have you ever told someone when you see their aura, like, hmm?
No, not about that, but I think it's an aspect of all what we're going through when we develop spiritually and paranormally. We go through lots of stages, and this is just one of them.
Right,
Okay, the
exactly.
aura is just one of
Well, I
them.
ask because
True.
sometimes you see,
Yeah,
I've had this, you see something in a person and you want to
mhm,
tell them about it, and you're like, I don't
yeah,
know if I should.
yeah.
Every now and then I
Sometimes,
do. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes we do, and sometimes I do if I feel there's danger to the person's life. I am telling them you need to avoid that kind of road going down there. Don't go there because I know there's someone there, or people are going to be assaulted or something like that. Of course, I want people if I see something, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't do anything about it. I just see it because I don't know all people. So sometimes I can see when a car drives by, I can see young people sitting in it. And then I know this is the last day, okay, on earth. And
Wow.
it is hard for me to see things like that. But this is also something I experience as well. I know
Yeah.
that. This is a hard one. This is one of the hard ones when something like that happens, right? Yeah.
Yes. Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes.
remember I was at work once and I saw this girl I worked with. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you doing working here? I think you would be much better in the medical field. And I'm like, oh, I got all embarrassed. I'm like, why am I even saying this? And she gave me this look like I'm studying to be a nurse.
Ah, fantastic. You see?
And the other guy sitting next to me, he's like, what do you see with me? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't want to say because it wasn't really anything
It
good.
turns into a love fest after that. That's
Exactly.
But
I
Yeah.
know.
yeah, I mean, I just said that spontaneously.
Yeah. And it comes to you. Do you remember when I talked to you? I was married to the skeptic, my ex-husband,
Yeah.
when the phone rang and I said it out loud, just spontaneously as well. And you need to pick up because it's a death in the family, in your family. And he just looked at me like that. But that's the same thing. It comes out like that because
Yep.
you know it, and it comes from inside, and it just blurs out. Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
Does
it
that ever
is.
make you uncomfortable? Because I've talked to some people like, I have these dreams and, sometimes they come true and I don't like it. It makes me nervous. I love it. I personally like, wow, I knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen. So are you comfortable with it? When you have these kinds of experiences?
As of course I am, because I have over the years I have learned to know things in depth as well, because it's not doesn't scare me anymore. Well, sometimes when you experience something very tough, when if an airplane crash, for example,
You've had
it's
that.
very tough on me. That's very, very hard on me. Okay, because I was in the air myself when it happened. That was not
Oh,
funny. That was absolutely not funny at all.
Oh my gosh.
Because I sat there looking around in the aircraft. Are we going down? What is happening here? And it was actually
another
an
thing.
aircraft from Taiwan that went down on the same time I was in the air. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Wow.
really tough on me because I felt it and I heard the voices when people were talking, screaming. And suddenly I heard two Danish voices there as well, a man and a woman. And I said, oh my God. And I just heard they say, oh my God, we're hitting the wall. It was a
Hmm.
mountainside, I guess, a hillside. I can't remember. I think it was a hillside, the touch. But I heard the woman say that, the Danish woman, right? And I can remember it was a couple of years later. I met a wonderful colleague at work, and she invited me to visit her at her place. And she was actually a Buddhist. So fantastic to hear about
Oh,
her life as well. And I talked to her about this experience I had with that aircraft that went down. Okay. And
yeah.
she just got silent, totally silent,
Yeah.
because she knew those two Danish people dying on
Yeah.
that craft.
9/11
I
was
didn't.
really hard on me for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know that on front. So she was really, I said, that was a confirmation for me as well. There were the two Danes I talked about on the craft, and she confirmed it.
I,
They lived close by her. It was a
yeah.
mom and dad that had children.
Maybe that's why it came to you because there's that personal connection there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something always comes about
Oh,
that it'll give you clarity.
yeah,
I have a question for
exactly.
you because this
Yeah.
absolutely happened to me.
Mm?
And I'm asking about this specific
Yeah.
incident, but I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I
Yeah.
wasn't at home when 9/11 happened. I was at the
Oh,
vet with my dog. Okay. And
yeah.
after I left the vet, I didn't feel good. Something came over me, and I was like,
Mm,
something is wrong. I
yeah.
couldn't stand up. I got dizzy. I got nauseated, and we lived
Yeah.
on a lake. And
Oh,
so we went over to the dock, and I just sat on the dock to clear my head. And all of a sudden, it was as if I had been punched in the face, and I felt 1,000 people move through me screaming. And I
oh,
was like, oh no, oh no.
yeah.
I got sicker, and I thought, I
Yeah.
have to go to the
Mm.
house. I have to go to the
Yeah.
house right now. And I didn't, I ran across the yard. It's a pretty big run for me to get in the house. And
Yeah.
just as I walked in the door, I saw the second plane hit, and it
Oh,
hit me again. And my mom says I passed out. I dropped to the
yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
And that was the most extreme
Mm,
moment of my entire life. I did not
yeah.
know I could be affected that physically by
Mm,
that kind of stuff coming at us, but it was being
exactly.
broadcast everywhere, and there was no way I could avoid what I
No.
was feeling. So when that plane, did you feel them
Yeah.
leaving? Yeah.
Yeah. I
See,
did.
that's the thing. It's not only
Yeah.
you hear them, they're dropping over,
Yeah.
walking through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. Right. And I remember also, the huge tsunami that hit the Indian Ocean,
Yes.
killing. Oh my God! I woke up that
Yeah.
night when it happened, and I felt, I could hardly breathe. So I think people were drowning, and that was I felt. I really was. It was so unpleasant going through that, and so many people on the same time. That was horrific.
Wow.
What happened, and of course many people died, but
That gives me
I know that
chills.
several million was saved as well, so happy for that. But sad, of course, for all
Right.
of those who
When that
lost their
when it
lives, sad for the
happens. Right.
families, right? It's
Yeah.
hard when we go through that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we have that feeling, we can connect with them. We connect with people when they actually are dying and
Right.
when they pass over. We can
Right.
feel what they are going through, and
Mm.
that can be very, very tough on you to deal with.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
that's
I guess it depends on how you react to it. One
exactly,
one of the
yeah,
things that I learned
mhm,
from ET, as a matter of fact,
yeah,
is that we need to spend more time understanding that the journey for everybody
yeah,
is important, and to be alone in that is a really terrible place to be, or without some sort of emotional support or somebody to at least be with you and be
yeah,
willing to participate in your crossing over.
yeah,
In my family, we always stay with our family. Hospice doesn't go to another place. We do hospice at home
yeah,
and in our family, and nobody leaves anybody alone for that reason, because it's a welcoming thing. They're going on a journey, and it's a really cool thing, and we give them encouragement, and it's a happy
that's
moment.
the way
And
it
they
should
list
be.
that.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. ET
exactly.
takes it the same way, and they're able to
Mhm,
actually OBE with them out. It's a
yeah,
thing. They actually
yeah,
cross with them and
yeah,
guide them through
Yeah.
to the next steps. And we
exactly.
could do that too if we were that developed.
Yeah.
I interviewed one guy who was actually going to be in one of the hotels that was destroyed by the tsunami. He
Oh,
had
yeah,
a really good job, which
yeah,
put him there, and he called out. He's like, "I'm not going," and he got in all kinds of trouble. And then, of
yeah.
course, the hotel
This
was
happened.
destroyed. So I'm
Yeah. Oh
wondering,
my God.
because sometimes you get these I've ignored a few
Mhm.
premonitions to my detriment.
Yeah.
One, I always think of this as I'm like, I parked in this spot. I'm like, and I heard this kind of very subtle voice that says, "You're going to get a ticket if you park here." So of course I looked. I'm like, well, there's no signs. I'm fine. It
Yeah.
was hidden by a tree. It should have been, against the law because it was completely hidden. And of course I did get the ticket. So have you
Oh.
have you had that experience where you're like,
Oh,
man,
a
I
lot of
should
them.
have? Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of them. And when you're out walking and suddenly God says to you, go onto the other street, you need to go
Pay attention. Yeah.
over the road because it's important. And I just do it because every time God says that, it's because something is going to happen. And every time it does, something is
Mm.
happening. Okay. And you always have to listen to that little inner voice you have there because it's so important. It's
Yeah.
because it can save your life. It can save
Yeah.
your
Or
life.
you learn a big
Well, how do
lesson.
we hear that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Do you
yeah.
have any
Well,
clues as to how people can kind of tune into that
um,
subtle voice? Because
yeah, as the best you can do, actually, I don't know, but I can tell you to, if you like, you can sit down and meditate on that. But because you need to open your heart and to receive, you need to
Right.
connect with the divine, your energy. If you do that, you will hear everything. You will be able to do many things in your life. So if you can do that, please do that.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You just need to say to God, I would love to do that. And He will help you all the way, and you will learn it. And you already have the gift of being able to differentiate between wrong and right. That's the same little voice listening when
Yeah.
saying to you, remember you need to do that, or you remember to do that. Listen to that little voice. It's so
Yeah.
important. It can truly help you in your life. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the things
So,
that I can tell people about
yeah,
your intuition is each of us has five senses, and our senses will play very big into
yeah,
intuition as well. It's
yeah.
all connected, okay, in your body.
Exactly.
Your heart
Exactly.
is where your intuition sits because
Yes.
that's where your soul resides, not your
Yes.
brain, your heart.
Exactly.
And if you've got a feeling in your chest
Mm,
and it's making you think over and over and over on it like a
yeah.
broken record,
Yeah.
don't go away from it, don't suppress
Yeah.
it. Listen to what it's telling you and
Yeah.
act upon that. Don't
Yes.
think about it, don't say no, I'm nuts, nothing. Listen to what that tells you. And then pay
Exactly.
attention in your life. Your body will tell you, your heart will tell you, your mind will eventually catch up to it, but it's your gut, that's your intuition right there in your chest.
Exactly.
And if that's
Exactly.
alarming you, you need to listen.
Yeah.
That'll help you connect to your intuition as well.
Yes.
Because if you listen to it and obey what it's telling you, because you're
Yeah.
not doing something somebody else is telling you, you're doing something your higher consciousness is telling you to do.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. It's you helping you. Okay. And God talks to your consciousness, and your conscious talks to your physical mind and your body, and you need
Exactly.
to listen. That's the way I look at it. It's what I tell
Yeah.
people. If you've got this going
Yeah.
on in here, shut up. Just pay attention. And I learned this
Absolutely.
over and over and over myself. No,
Yeah.
no kidding. But yeah,
Well,
the
here's what
days
I'm wondering, because you
Mm,
guys have had these experiences from a very, very early age.
yeah.
What is it possible that this was something that was at least partially developed in a past life? Do you have memories of past lives,
Yeah.
Heidi?
I do. I also have memories of past lives as well. I have. And I think we are developing in throughout the lives we are here on Earth or wherever we are in the solar system, I might say, because we develop, okay, and we can be a planet. We could be on Pluto or whatever, I know, but we develop wherever we are in our lives. And
right?
yeah, you can have that with you. And if you already had it when you were a child, because then you had already had it in your life before and before that as well,
Yeah,
because you truly are developing and you bring all the good stuff with you into the new life. Yeah, you have some bit of karma you need to go through because of the back what you have done in last life, but that's still it's over very
right,
fast. But you just need to develop what you do and
right.
always listen within, because that voice is the most important tool you have in your life. And when you realize that your higher self, God, and your physical mind are aligned, then you understand what you are all about.
Mm,
And then many wonderful things will happen in your life, because then is what God wants for you. It will happen because you are actually that close to God.
Yeah,
It's because you understand you are God yourself.
right.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
So, I have really clear memories of being a priest in a past life.
Yeah.
Several actually, but there was one I just really, I lived in a tiny rectangular house. I had nothing but a bed, a desk, and a chair, really. Lived
Yeah.
very plainly, but had my, you know, a few books, just a few sacred books that I just read over and over, and I just meditated that whole lifetime. I
Yeah.
feel like that was one lifetime where I did learn a lot about, being connected
yeah.
to
Yeah.
source. So
Yeah.
I'm
Everything
curious.
we are. Yeah. The all mind. ET refers to God as all mind. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're in the all mind. We're in
Yeah.
source together. We're all part of that all
Mhm.
mind. Okay.
Mhm.
And the fact that we are that connected and can hear the all mind talking to us constantly, it's a never ending, non stopping narrative. You can
Exactly.
tap it into it any time you
If you
want.
could just quiet your own head and
That's
not
right.
to
That's what I tell
listen.
people when
Yeah.
you meditate, shut up, listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's chatting to you and it loves to be heard by us. We're
Yeah.
connected. We're that connected to it. It's like a break in the love chain. If you're ignoring this, you're missing out on all the really cool love stuff that you can get from that.
Yeah.
And it teaches you
Exactly.
everything. everything about existence and
Yeah.
who we are from the beginning of all of it, if you want to call it a beginning, is still with us. We don't lose that. And each life
Exactly.
we have, we don't lose the life. We take all those experiences and all that wisdom with us forward, and
Yes.
stuff drops off. It's like I've had many lifetimes. I don't know. I only remember one or two or three names. Okay. I remember who I was in, well, maybe more like four or five, but I can remember names and who I was. I'm very specific about some of them, and it's playing into this life right now. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but and it's like I have to pay attention to what that means to me now. What am
Yeah.
I doing? Okay.
Yeah.
But I
Exactly.
don't have any of the feelings that that person had about their life. I just have the memories of who I was, and I take all that love and all that wisdom forward with me. I drop
Yes.
off the physical, and I take the wisdom forward. But it's still us. It's all us. We're all of this.
Yes.
Humans want to compartmentalize everything. They want to have it's this, it's this, it's this. It's not. It's all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really cool thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, so what are some of your memories of past lives, Heidi? I'm curious, if you don't mind
Well,
sharing.
Yeah.
yeah, but I also see myself as I have been a nun in one life. So I know that, of course, or maybe several. I have been. I've always been an Indian woman. I remember that it's specific
Wow.
because a situation in that life happened, and I was a young girl. I think I was about 16 years old
Mhm.
when I died. It was a very short-lived life I had back then, but I was an Indian girl. I could see it on the clothes I wear, so I
Wow.
knew I was a part of something.
Which one? Native American
Yeah,
or
Native
okay.
American, exactly.
All right.
And I fell into kind of cave, I think it was, and I couldn't see what it was, and I didn't know that, but I fell through a hole in the ground and ended there in that cave. I fell down, and I don't know if I broke my back, but I think I did. I couldn't move, but in that cave was a lot of spiders as well. It
Mm,
was those big ones. So I remember that because
right.
when I died, Jesus stood beside me, and we watched my body die. And I was already there. I was in peace. I saw what it was, and all my friends up there, the young ones as well, they were out of their minds because they was truly sad of what was happening. A young girl losing her life like that. But I think this is why I don't like spiders. I have that with spiders, right? Well, it's okay now. The little ones is okay, but the big ones they
Yeah.
can keep away. Okay. But
Yeah.
I remember that lifetime it's very vivid, actually, very vivid. Yeah,
Isn't that interesting?
yeah,
That's
It's
amazing. I'm
yeah.
totally not afraid of spiders at all.
No,
At the zoo,
we
we
don't
had
have
every kind
to.
of spider you could imagine, including the
Yeah,
tarantulas. And when they had babies, my cousin was
yeah.
following me out through the thing, and I went in to check on the babies, and I stuck my hand in there, and they started crawling on me, and she was like, she grabbed me by the back of my head and snatched me back. Talk about, talk about.
Yay.
And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm not afraid of them. But
No.
yeah,
That's amazing. But
yeah.
yeah, that one is very specific. But I see myself as a nun. I think that's why also I've been who I am today, a quiet woman and very into God and everything. But that's my upbringing as well, I guess, because my grandma was a wonderful woman. My great grandmother was as well in that area as well. So I had that from childhood on, right? And yeah, now it's just intensifies a lot.
Wow.
Now I know more about what that really is all of that out there. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. So is it, early on in your life, you kept a lot of these experiences private? Would that be
Yeah.
fair to say?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
I didn't talk to
because
anybody. Yeah.
yeah, because you were bullied so badly by your own family as well. Not today because the family understands me today. There's something different about it today, because they have experienced things I have said and something like that. It's also with friends, okay. But you always, when you develop, you will meet people in your life that you go along with because we know what we are talking about. We know what we have experienced throughout life. And it's what we can give to each other, what we can give to
Right.
other people as well, because we have experienced so many things in life. And when you are bullied, you learn to shut up if I have to say it like that, because it's not fun to be. It's people laughing at you when you're trying seriously to talk about an incident you have. I remember with the ghost in the house we were living. I told you about the haunted house I was living in back then, together with mom and dad and my twin sister and my brother Tony, and my little brother Danny was born at that time. What I went through there, well, I had what we call another family I went to very often because I was friends with their daughter, and I told them about all my experiences with the ghost that was happening in the house. And actually, one day they invited me to come visit them, and it was her mother calling me, and that was very special because normally it was always my friend calling me and, would you want to do stuff today? Yeah, of course. And we were out there, right? But then this time it was her mom calling me. Heidi, I need you to come. I need you to come today. Is it possible? And I said, yeah, I just need to ask my parents because I was still very young, right? So I said, yeah. And I went, okay. And I could see the thunder in the distance and everything
Oh,
happening. She had told that as well. And when I came there, they didn't tell me anything. And I said, why were you calling me? Is there something special I need to know? I was really curious, but
yeah.
nothing happened. But then it started, the thunder and everything, thunder and lightning, very intense. So, and then she said, now we need to go to bed. And I said, okay. And we did that. And I was in my friend's room and we talked to each other. And then I could hear everyone was awake talking to each other on that first floor, right? That
Yeah.
was a bit strange as well because what was going on? And my friend said, Heidi, you will know in a minute. You will know. Just, you will know. Okay, I said. And this was the one when I told you about the scream that came through your bones from inside, like the woman was standing in the same room as you, screaming her lungs out. And you can feel the death feel that she had with her. So it was a young woman. I knew that for a fact immediately when I heard her, but the blood in my veins, they froze, right? And I just knew she had died. She had thrown herself in front of a train,
Uh,
not far
No.
from there, okay?
Wow.
And when she fell down, she screamed with her lungs, okay? And but it was too late. I think she regretted it in the last moment, but it was too late, and the train hit her, okay? And she
Mm.
was dragged along the tracks
Oh,
for a long time. So when I was out there, I could hear her. Sometimes I could hear the scream coming, "Ee," because
yeah.
it was a long way she was dragged, right? And she was there, and it scared me. Something. Oh my God! I said to Sam, "Was that?" Yes, she said that was that,
oh
and
my.
nothing else. And I ran down the stairs next morning because I wanted to talk to her mum. I said, "Is that it? What was that?" And I talked to her about it, and she says, "Yes, Heidi, you need to know something. We thought we were going crazy here."
You need
Because
to
it
get into the
happened
woods.
every time of the storm.
Yeah.
She
That's
came and screamed. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
electromagnetic energy. It's like putting
Exactly.
the needle to the record
Yeah.
in many
And
places.
they wanted me to come
Imprint it.
because I have experienced so much with ghosts in
Yep.
the house I was living in, and they trusted in me. So they
Wow.
wanted to hear what I thought about it. I
Yep.
was only 16 years old at the time, right? So, but I know what I was talking about, and we talked about the situation. And she was, of course, very sorry. She had to ask me to come without telling me anything. She wanted me to experience it so we could talk about it together. So
Yeah.
it's actually an honor to be called out there to help them.
That's very
And
cool.
I told them about it, and I told them it was the nearby bridge where she jumped, and that was
Yeah.
correct. Yeah,
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah. She
Wow.
imprinted it pretty good.
yeah. She did. She
You know,
imprinted it really good.
what people don't realize is that she's really not there. It's the
Yeah,
energy she left.
it's just the energy that's left.
And the
Exactly.
storm energy made it
Yeah,
like a needle on a record. It played it. That's
exactly.
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's called a
Exactly.
residual haunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Technically speaking, it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Oh,
Because I think even people who don't consider themselves psychic sometimes pick up on these things. They're like,
yeah, they do.
this,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, it is.
spooky
Well,
here.
this is
You know?
real energy being played out loud for everybody. Nobody's excluded.
Exactly.
Nobody. I know. It's, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
you kept this private for a long time, and
Yeah,
but you're talking to people. What inspired you to, start writing books? Because you've got a lot of them. You got another in the
yeah,
works.
yeah,
And this is a big deal. I know when you write a book,
yeah,
it's like you put yourself out there,
yeah.
and
I do.
it's slightly, it can feel a little vulnerable, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean, because
yeah.
and people are reading your stuff. So what inspired you to do that? Because that's a big, big step.
Yeah, I think it was because people told me to, because I have
Oh,
had so many experiences, different kinds of experiences as well. And people have experienced things happening in my life. It had manifested in my life. And they said, Heidi, you need to share your stories with the world. You need to tell your stories. You need stories, experiences. You need to tell the world about it because we can help each other out there when we share our experience with each other, right? We can learn from each other. So it's very important you do that. And after I have heard that many times, and some people have actually changed their life after talking to me. I don't know what I told them, but something happened in their lives. But it has been amazing. It was an amazing journey like that, and
do
people
you
have
feel better
actually changed.
by doing
What?
it? You feel better?
Yeah,
Is it cathartic for
every time. Yeah, I feel happy, and I feel it's like, oh, I'm meant to be this. I'm meant to do this.
you? Yeah.
So I was happy when I wrote my first book, but I was absolutely nervous when I published the first one, right? I
Yeah.
was, because I said, oh, what would people think about me? Because I had been, as I told you, been bullied a lot about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a huge step for me to finally come out. And that's why I had my very, very first interview. It was back in 21, February 21, and it was actually on the same program, Journey Through the Unexplained, in the UK Post Talk Radio, with the wonderful host Russell Lowell and Joe Downs back then. And last time it was Russell Lowell and Paul Kent, amazing host as well. You should meet those guys. You should meet them. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and they also have what you call the Essex Ghost Hunters. Those were the people I was with when I was at Deal Castle in Kent, UK, when I had that feeling experiences with the ghost on the castle, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Now I'm
So,
curious about your son. Okay,
yeah. Oh,
how
yeah.
is he? How is he following in your footsteps a little bit?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think? Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
when I talk about my son, because he has many, many amazing experiences, and sometimes even more than I have had.
Mm.
So I am following him, and I'm happy that he is my son, because we can talk about these things without me laughing at him or anything. We understand each
well, he's
other.
so lucky to have you.
Yes. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
Um,
because we have a fantastic relationship like that, and we can talk about stuff like that. And I told you, he has seen letters or kind signs that the aliens make. He has
Yeah.
seen all of that. He has seen how a craft is created. He has experienced a lot of activity around aliens. Aliens has been in his room with him. He has experienced stuff with ghosts. There was one time we often experience things together as well. That's
Wow.
amazing. When we lived in Copenhagen, I had my room. And Stefan has his room, right? Because we lived together at that time to help each other out financially, right? And I had one ghost visiting me, and it was actually not a kind one. It was, I want your attention, ghost. And he did whatever he could to annoy me to get attention. Okay. And I had to say to him, you need to go. We come back when you can talk to me on more politely. And I was, of course, talk to you, but you need to go. And in a short while, then I heard Stephanie in his room. Mom, could you have told me before this happened? He is in here now talking to me.
Wow.
So we have similar
yeah.
experiences, and when he talks about what he experienced also in his dreams, and what he sees in visions and stuff like that. Oh, he is very developed indeed, and he will become much more than I am. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
know I'm developed, but he is very developed.
I think so,
That's
that
very
about my
cool.
child too.
Yeah,
I
right.
have a question.
Yeah,
I had a when I was very, very young, I had a guide that
yeah,
was not like you would think of a guide. This person had lived a long time ago and was singled me out to teach me things. And I was a female who lived her life in Egypt. And I didn't know who she was until I was older. I had to research back through what everything she told me and figure out who she was. And there was a reason for that. And she told me her name was Cuba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my mother about her all the time, and my mother went, sure. One day, and I was at my little table that I had in there with a chair, and I was playing Tea Party with Kua. Okay. And my mom's listening to me talk to her. And then all of a sudden, my mother heard her reply. My mother burst. She didn't even open the door. She went through the door and said, where is she? Okay. Because she thought, because it was so real, she freaked the, out. Okay. Years and years later, I have a child. My daughter's at the same exact age talking about this person that I started. And I said, what's your friend's name? And she said, Sabri Cuba.
That's amazing. Absolutely
and
amazing.
What? And she said, yep. And I said, okay. And I said, you having a good time? Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Signing
Fantastic.
off.
Yeah.
Wonderful time. I trust this friend of yours. Go for it.
Yeah.
I didn't get in the way of it at all. Wasn't afraid because I knew who it was.
Exactly.
And it was amazing to me. So I have a question for you because we got a lot in common. So I'm digging.
Yeah, we have.
Did you have a guide when you were very, very young as well?
Well,
multiple guides, probably.
Yeah, I want to say that because I had guys talking to me, but I always thought of it like it was God talking to me all the time.
Yeah.
And also later in life, also the aliens absolutely talking to me. So it wasn't a specific one. I always related to God, actually. Saw Jesus several times talking to me. And it was amazing. That's why I came around about it, because I was taught about how to be. I read the Bible and understood how to be a good girl, and understood this is important. I think that's also when I was a nun before that, right? And I don't understood things like that. Well, so for me, it has been God all the way, because he was there when I was 6 months old baby, talking to me to make me stay here on earth, because I didn't want to be here on earth, but he wanted me to stay and live his message of love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was him all the way through, and also the aliens. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely all related. It's all almost exactly the same thing, which is amazing to me.
Me too.
Each life we interpret what we see and what we do through our own perspective, right?
Yeah.
And if you've been raised religiously, you're going to equate it that way and see it at that level. It's not all bad. A lot of people say you shouldn't, because a lot of people who are religious now in this life and see it from that perspective, that they might. I've been attacked a couple times for that, because I don't speak the way they do about it. I don't have, and I'm very well versed in religions. I studied them intensely, all of them, and I learned to understand everything as it really is. Okay, and you're exactly right. God is God.
Yeah.
Okay, everything is energy, or I call it light. Light is energy. Okay, and we are not alone in any way, shape, or form. And we have life all the way through the universe. And that's from my perspective. That's how I see it and I understand it, even though I understand the religious one. So I don't condemn anybody because of your preference for understanding. That's in my mind, that's what
all
that
pathways lead to the truth.
Exactly. The truth is in the details. That's right. It's all there.
Well, I want to bring up this question because that's pertinent to what we're talking about. And I think it's fun to interact with chat. Osiris is asking, how does God look? What does he look like to you?
To me, he's look like golden energy when he's there with me. And sometimes he puts a face to it so I can recognize him like that. But it's golden energy that is within me and around me. That's what I can tell you. And I can feel the unconditional love from him from within. And That is God for me. He's the highest frequency that's out there. He is the energy. That's
Yeah,
all
he's
there.
all in our
That's all
realm.
it is. And the go. Also, the aliens all say what we call God is all there is out there. Okay, and it is all there is out there. And you come from that energy and you go to that energy.
Right?
We all walk the same path, or like we walk all this on the same road, but we have
Yeah,
each lane to walk. But we walk on the same road, go back to where we came from. Okay, so God for me is absolutely is such a beautiful golden white energy I see and feel everywhere. It's absolutely love. If you have felt, the love from between my mother and a child is very strong. It's a
right.
bond, right?
Yeah,
And if you, what I can describe is like, if you multiply it at least 1,000 times, you can feel the unconditional love, which is God inside you,
it's
and you
absolutely
will experience that. I have done so
Mm.
many times, and lately many times. So you can absolutely
yeah,
experience that,
the
and we are
chills and
all
yeah,
that. For
yeah,
me, it's the golden energy. It's the highest frequency there is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly
it's
how I
very
see the
sustaining, very nurturing when you're going through hard times to
golden
know
energy.
that
Yeah.
Yeah,
you are part of this universe.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I look to it. I'm like, wow, I exist, I
Yeah.
am, and that's enough.
yep,
That,
Yeah.
that
Exactly. Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
yep.
All right, here's another
Yeah.
kind of interesting question from Leah. May I please ask the sign of your guess? I'm guessing Pisces.
Virgo.
Virgo. Okay.
Yeah, Virgo.
So
What do you
what month are you born in?
think?
March.
March. Wait a
Yeah,
minute. You're born in March.
I'm born in March
March what?
26.
Are you sure you're a Virgo? Because that would make you a Pisces.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah,
correct. That's correct.
yeah.
I'm a Pisces.
There you go,
Yeah.
Leah. She's a
Yeah.
Pisces.
You're right, Leah.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
actually. Yeah. I'm at the edge, actually, between the two, is what I see,
Alright,
right?
that's funny.
Actually, Pisces after before Pisces is Aquarius.
It's,
So
yeah, it's
then
Aquarius.
after
Yeah, that's
Pisces is
correct. That's
Aries,
correct. Yeah.
and then Taurus. So,
Yeah.
but Pisces is a cool sign because it's the water sign. It's
Yeah.
the fish. Okay,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fish
No, but
sign. Like
but when I
Aquarius is
look at the
water, Pisces
zodiac,
is
yeah,
fish.
but when I look at the zodiac, I'm not a fish. I actually am the Virgo.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I have
Huh.
looked into astrology, they told me I'm a Virgo.
Then you got your moon in Virgo. That's what they're
Maybe.
saying to you. Your moon is
Yeah.
in Virgo. Because
Yeah.
I'm a Taurus, but my moon is dead up in Aquarius.
Yeah. You
Okay.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Amazing.
yeah.
Love that. Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Preston's moon is in Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a Taurus.
You're a
We're both
Taurus. Yeah.
Taurus, but his moon is Pisces and mine is Aquarius. Both
Ah,
water signs. We're water
yeah.
people. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with the question, so
Yeah.
here's another one from
Yeah.
Robert Grismer. Are tall whites angels? So, I mean, what do you think about the relationship between ETs and angels? Because some people are saying they're the same thing. I don't think so. I
I
think
know.
angels are angels,
No,
and
no,
demons are
No.
demons,
no.
ETs are ETs.
No,
No.
there are different kinds, okay? There are
Yeah.
different kinds. It is because I have seen angels, and they're absolutely beautiful in their energy. They are very bright, very light. I can see that. Uh,
Non-corporeal, actually.
exactly. They're absolutely two different
Yeah.
things. They're not
They're
the
in another
same.
dimension. They're from another
Exactly.
dimension, literally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Talada, my craft, is
Yeah.
indwelt by a fifth dimensional non-corporeal being who is a
Yeah.
light being. And when he
Yeah.
shows himself for what he really is, he looks
Yeah.
dead up just like an angel. And I used to
Yeah.
call him Oracle when I was little because he's that loving, that kind. He's got that kind of
Yeah.
energy and stuff.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine accidentally saw him once around
Oh,
me,
fantastic.
and it
I love
freaked
that.
her completely out. She was like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "Sorry." And I learned that these beings come here regularly of their own volition, and they purport as angels to us. But you got to
Yeah.
remember, a fifth dimensional being is very close to the center of source. Okay,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
further into source than we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
and they can literally their life existence is more of a helpful one to everybody. They care about everything in the universe, and they act like angels. They kind of
Yeah.
are. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's amazing to me. Tall whites are like us, third dimensional beings. They're
Yeah.
from somewhere else in our galaxy.
Yeah.
They're very related to us. They're very human, and they have been existing for a long time, longer than we have.
Yeah.
And they're very interesting people. Just
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell us about angels a little bit. I'm fascinated by that subject because I haven't researched it in too much depth, but I've certainly looked into it because I have to, because all of this stuff is connected. This is what I find so interesting about you, that you can talk about all of this stuff from a first-hand experience level.
Yeah, I
So
can.
how is the feeling of an angel different from an ET, different from all the other, a spirit, perhaps?
Well, the only thing I can tell you when I see beings, let me call it beings because we are all beings, right? There's a kind of small difference in each frequency that I feel with each being. So when I feel a ghost, I know it's a ghost. When I feel an extraterrestrial, I know that. And when I see an angel, I know that too, because my inner self is recognizing them. The inner frequency in me, God, is recognizing them. So I know that for a fact when I see them. Oh, you're a ghost. Hello. And such things like that. Okay. But I have experiences as well. I don't know if I remember if I told you about my experience with the angels. I was only back that time, I was in a dark period of time in my life, actually wondering about, sadly, suicide. I was really out there. I was scared
Yeah.
because I didn't feel I have anyone to talk to about all what I went through in my life with all of this, with all the paranormal stuff, with the ghosts. So I had a lot of haunting back then. So I went through a lot and I was out on the edge and I was really sad in my heart, right?
Oh,
And suddenly I had this vision dream where everything was dark around me. The only thing I could see the silhouettes of trees and bushes. I was in a very known area because I also back then also played a little football. I love that actually. I love football, handball, and everything. So
Wow.
I've also played a little football back then, and I was in that area. I was out there, and I was crying my eyes out. So is that it? The sky was amazing to watch. I saw the stars and everything, and I was just sad in my heart. And suddenly, a huge crack came in the sky, a very huge crack, and down came angels. They were
Wow.
descending from wherever, let me just call that. They were descending and they were singing. And I
mm,
felt their singing and I felt their love. And suddenly, out of that huge craft came an enormous hand reaching out for me. And that was God. I am here for you.
Hmm.
And then I was saved. Yeah, that's why I'm in here today, right?
yeah.
So I had that experience with the angels coming down. They were so beautiful. And I remember I was happy and I felt, yeah, I belong there. I belong there, Somehow, I had that wonderful feeling inside of me. And their singing was pure love going through you, right?
Yeah.
So
That's how
they're
you.
absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful beings. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
What's
they're,
So,
they're every time I'm around a being like
yeah.
that, it
Yeah.
is you're standing in pure light with them,
Yeah.
and there's no how do I put this? There's no there's no guile, there's no nothing, there's
Exactly.
no ego, nothing. It's all about how they love everything, everyone,
Yeah.
all of it, and
Yeah.
there's no doubt in your mind that you are
Yeah.
100% in the
Mm,
cradle of God Himself,
yeah.
literally in their hand. And
Yeah.
it's amazing to me when you're around beings like that because it's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, why,
Yeah.
and it's
well,
amazing.
well, do they
Yeah.
seem male or female or both? Because I've heard people describe how they're kind of genderless.
Okay, I think I saw both actually, mostly women. I would say it was mostly women I
Hmm.
saw come down, right? Oh, they
Yeah,
Wow.
were beautiful. My
yeah,
God, they were beautiful. Yeah, I remember that very
yeah.
clearly. Oh God,
Some of them
and
have
I
personalities too. I'll tell you
exactly,
something. And when you
yeah,
read the Bible, you read about the archangels, okay?
yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot about them and there's a lot of talk about them.
Or like
And they
Michael and
all have
Gabriel and all those guys.
Bingo. I
personalities,
met
yes.
Michael. Yeah,
And I learned
Wow.
this from
yeah,
Talata because Talata's got one hell of a personality. And I said, what is it? Why is this such a thing? And
Yeah.
he said, it's hard to explain except for this, because when I'm talking to him, I don't feel that. But every now and then I'll get that from him. I'll get the emotional response. And it's
Yeah.
not his emotions, it's mine. He's amplifying how I'm feeling. So if you've
Yeah.
got an angel in front of you and you feel like this guy is going to pound somebody, that's because it's coming from you
Yeah.
bouncing back and forth through him. He's amplifying what you're doing, trying to
Exactly.
show you it's not them
Yeah.
being that way, it's you being that way toward them.
Yeah.
And that took a lot for me to process. For a long time I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing,
That's
Yeah, it
very
is.
cool.
yeah.
Absolutely
I,
amazing. It
I,
is,
I,
right?
I read a book about a lady who had went through horrendous childhood abuse. She said she was repeatedly visited by the Archangel Michael,
Yeah.
Probably.
and he
Yeah.
would bring
Yeah.
her these little tiny shells.
Yeah.
He filled a whole jar with them. Well, the guy
Yeah.
had them analyzed. They were from some faraway place, somewhere on
Yeah.
Earth. But he's
Yeah.
like, there's no way this little girl had access to these shells. And it just really touched
Yeah.
my heart because this was
Yeah.
actual physical proof.
Yeah.
And you see this in a lot of people who are going, especially children.
Yeah.
So you said you actually had a visit by Michael?
I have, because he was a part of my life in a period of time. It was necessary for him to be in my life. What I experienced was I had to. He's also the one cutting off people who doesn't need to be close around you anymore. That maybe hurt you in a way you don't realize.
Right.
But he's the one who is had the when he lifts off his sword and does
Right.
that, he cut off the people around you.
Yeah.
So that
It's
was
totally
an experience that was amazing, because all the people that were around me back then are gone today. They're not
Yep.
there anymore. They're gone because he did that with the sword all the way around.
Yep.
He cut it
Wow.
off. Yeah, and that was Michael. That was Michael. I know that for a fact. Yeah, it was amazing to experience that as well, of course, right? But
Yeah.
I also, the other one I had with the angels, where I talked to you about, um, where I had to remove a spirit, a ghost, from a premises far out in the countryside, because they were haunted by something, and I needed to go out there and help remove the ghost. That's when the angel came to help me as well. There were five
Oh
of
yeah.
them
They'll back
coming
you up.
down from the sky, planting themselves on the lawn, and making what you call a cross. They stood there like
Oh
a
my
cross
goodness.
on the lawn.
Oh yeah.
Big, tall angels, about 3 meters high when you saw them, and
Wow.
so bright and beautiful. Wow,
Do they have
powerful as well.
wings and halos and the whole
No,
deal?
they were no, I didn't see them like that. I just saw them as pure white
Right.
light.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I
Golden.
did.
Yeah.
And that I just thought that, wow. I was so
That's what
interested
my
in what
friend
was
said.
going on,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. She lost her mind. She said, "What am I looking at?" And I said, "What are
Yeah.
you looking at?" And she
Yeah.
said, "There's a giant white thing behind you."
Yeah.
And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yes." What the
Yeah.
heck? I know my angel's name is Raphael. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not Michael, it's Raphael. And
Mm.
I said, "Why do you think this is happening to us right now?" And she said, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, it could be we're on Dixie Highway in the middle of the damn night in a car on the median after me having to jump because somebody was coming head on for me." And I
Yeah.
said, "I got thrown up on the median by the angel. Are you kidding me?" We couldn't get off it. The cops had to come. And she
Wow.
just could not believe her eyeballs. She was like, wow. And as soon as
Yeah.
he showed up, pff, he disappeared. And
Yeah.
we were ready for anything at that point. Just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have been out there in the middle of the night anyway. We were both
Yeah.
playing hooky in the middle of the night in my car. And I was on Dixie Highway heading toward Key Biscayne. And
Yeah.
some drunk somehow got into that lane and was headed straight for me. I mean, was not going to let me out. And I mean, I just turned the wheel. There's no way I could have gone up on top of that median. It was like 2.5 feet tall. And the
Yeah.
car literally lifted up and plopped onto it, and he went around by. And
It's amazing how many people have stories of their lives being saved.
Yeah.
I talked to a
Yeah.
lady at work. She was about to step onto the street, and she says something took her and grabbed her
Yeah.
and pulled her
Yeah.
back onto the sidewalk, physically lifted
Exactly.
her up and put
Yeah.
her back.
yeah,
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
like, I think it was an angel. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
she had so many experiences. Like you. I mean, she has this
Yeah.
whole laundry list. She had ETs visiting her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
premonitions
It's a
constantly.
pretty cool club to be in.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
this is my thing. I want everybody in the club. I mean,
I
can you
wanted
imagine
to.
having a whole planet full
Yeah.
of people who could see and feel and hear all this stuff and know the truth about
Yeah.
everything? What a
Yeah.
wonderful place it would be for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow, it will a peaceful
enjoy.
world. Absolutely. I would love that for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true. Yeah.
Let me see if we have any more questions here from people. Oh my gosh, Becky Sloan. I have to ask.
Yeah.
My daughter has decided the earth may be flat. I need your opinion so I can answer.
No.
Yeah, I think that's the short, right answer.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen it from an out of body state. It is
Yeah.
absolutely
Round.
You
round.
need, has your daughter,
Yeah.
well, first of all, first question, has your daughter ever been in an airplane? You might go to an
Mm.
airfield and find a really good pilot with
You
a
have to go
good,
real high up, don't you?
yeah, not really,
Yeah.
not that high up, 15,000
Okay.
feet, pretty good.
Yeah.
And you begin to see the curvature of the earth at that
Exactly.
point. And
Yeah.
take her up, go out over the ocean, even that's even better. And you
Yeah.
realize that we're a globe. Then you have to learn to trust certain parts of science.
Mm.
And we know we've got telescopes up there that broadcast. Get her on YouTube and bring up those broadcasts live and let her see the sun. Let her see
Yeah.
the earth from space, from the moon, in phase, as a matter of fact. All of it. You need to educate her on the science of why. It's really hard to answer some kids, so start astronomy lessons with her, put her in the middle of it, and let her make the discoveries on her own. She's
Yeah.
trying to decide, let her go for it. Open the book and let her go, you know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, now going back to past lives, this is an interesting question from Randy of the Redwoods, which I think we're all going to agree upon. So, do you stay the same gender in each
No.
life?
No.
No.
No, that wouldn't make sense now, would it?
Nope.
No.
No.
You can't learn all the lessons. It's a
No.
different experience
You
to
switch
be
back
Yeah.
and forth. That's right.
Yeah.
a different gender.
Yeah.
Some really interesting comments on past lives here. From, let me see. Groucho Trout. I just have to pull this up. Where did I see that? Oh well, I'll find it.
Yeah. No
At any
worries.
rate,
No worries.
here's another question from Leah. And I'm not sure if you can answer this or not, but can your dear guest tell if a person has hybrid babies? Or can you know, when you look at a person, can you tell if they are like you? You know, have they had contact? Are they someone who's had experience? How are you able to read a person, I guess? You've already
Yeah, I
told
can read a person if
me.
I like. I can do that, but I have learned throughout the years as a call an ethic rule. Don't do that. Don't cross. You need to meet the person as the person is. But yeah, you will absolutely be able to feel that because when you are present with someone, you will know if you fit this person's energy because then you have friendship maybe for all your entire life with that person. But you also meet people where you can feel, oh my God, I need to stay away from this one because something bad might have happened in previous life and you need to avoid that person.
Yeah.
And this is what you feel about things out there, okay? So yeah, I can of course read a person, but I'm not doing it when I meet someone, but I feel the person. And if I like the energy, I will automatically, hello, how are you? And once, absolutely talk to people like that. But you know when to avoid someone. And
Right.
that's why the inner voice again is very important. You know when you need to avoid danger, okay? You need that to use that inner voice. Yeah, I think that's a main message today. Please listen with him and use that because it's very important, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to meditate all day long. Just 5 minutes to start and start
Yeah.
exercising that muscle, and you'll find yourself moving to a state of
Yeah.
living in a meditative state.
Right.
All the, because that's
That
how
is
we're
the
supposed to be
secret to
very
everybody on
conscious.
this planet.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
on this planet is a hybrid. Everybody. You come
Yeah.
from ET. We're all of their children. They are our progenitors. And some of us are a little bit more recently bred in from by them. They can breed back and forth with us at will. And they have done that throughout human history. And so, yeah, we're all the same that way. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me see. I saw here is a question that is kind of interesting, and this is from Zane Richard. Can Heidi go out of body? Have you had out of body experiences?
Yes, I have.
You're nodding. Well,
Yeah, I have as well. Absolutely. I also written a little bit about that as well. Yeah, I have had out of body experiences. I have been in Romania helping the children there, and the homes they live in is so poor back there, and I help out there. We all do, actually. We all help out somewhere. We all do some task when we are asleep, or we think we sleep, right?
Yep.
Because we are out of body, more conscious. Some are much more conscious about it than others. Okay, I have never thought about it. I just know I do it. I have, of course, seen things when I've been out there, okay, and I was also seeing myself high above Earth and looking down on Earth. I see the silver cord in a
oh, you
person.
have. Wow.
Yeah, and I had one experience with that actually, and that was. Can I tell that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had an
please.
experience with that one, and I was driving my car home from work, and I passed a spot where there has been an accident. Okay, a bad accident actually,
Mm.
and they tried to give the young woman who was laying in the grass. They tried to help her so she could live. But suddenly, out of my front window, I saw that silver cord, and I just, what was that? I'd really looked at it. I could see it came from her, and I saw it high up in the sky, and I
Wow.
saw her in the other ends trying to let me loose, please let me
Oh
loose.
my
And
God.
I know if she did that, she will die, of course, right? um and I was so flabbergasted by it, and I need to look up where I was driving on the same time. But wow, it was so beautiful to watch that silver
Hmm.
line there. It was amazing to watch, guys, and I think that was the first time I actually saw that. And we have that on us because it's attached to us somehow. It's because we are in this body at the moment, so we have that cord. We need to come back to earth and back to our body and keep doing what we need to do when we wake up. But you can have amazing experiences when you have
Wow.
out of bodies experiences. You can just hear about Preston Dennett when he talks about his. It's amazing, absolutely mind blowing. So you can learn that, and his book is amazing on that subject. So you need to buy that one and listen to it. Okay,
Thank
it's
you.
fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's also inspired me to become much more aware of my own out of body experiences. So
Yep.
that's plus one for you, Preston. So it's amazing when you do that. Okay, when you have a book that inspires, it's amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
So I
Yeah,
saw that, and that was amazing. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like that of someone.
No,
You saw her near-death experience. I
exactly.
hope she survived. Oh my goodness.
I think she didn't, because I think it broke loose. So I think she died,
Hmm.
sadly. Yeah.
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 Well, sadly,
So
and yet kind of
yeah.
not sadly,
Was
because
sadly something
it's
absolutely
sad for us,
beautiful.
you
Yeah,
know.
but I saw she wanted to go. It really, she tried to pull it out of their hands down there, right? And they were trying to give her a heart massage and everything. So, bam, and she was gone. Yeah,
Wow.
I think it snapped when I continued in my
Yeah.
car. So I
All
think she
right.
So
died. Yeah.
I've had experiences because I worked in the
Mm.
ER.
Yeah. Oh
I've
yeah.
seen people
Yeah.
literally in a really very, very bad accident, and their body
Yeah.
is just about to expire, and they're already out because they don't
Yeah.
want to feel what that is going through. And I see it happening, and it's like, okay, they're out.
Yeah.
And I know at that moment, there's nothing we do. We're going to keep trying, but
Mm.
nothing we do is going to revive this body. And,
No.
and it seems to me that it's the electrical connection to your heart. I think that when your heart stops, that's the snap. That's where your cord is tied into the most. The electricity in your body, it's the energy of you. And when
Yeah.
that ceases, you're out and you're away from it.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I've only seen my cord twice. I've had a lot
Yeah.
of OBEs, and finally I
Hmm.
kept reading about it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I need to see it. And one day I, woke up out of body, and
Yeah.
there was this hose all wrapped around me, and I'm like, what the heck is this? It's as big as a fire hose, glowing white. I'm like trying to untangle myself. And I'm like, oh, I think this is my silver cord.
Yeah.
So you know what I did? And I've never read about anyone doing this. I dived into it,
Oh,
and I went out of body, and I followed it to the end, not to the other side, but into
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And I came out into this room that had a really bright center. This was my consciousness. It was filled with all kinds of cool stuff. There was bottles and boxes and books, and just like, wow, look at this. This is so cool. And I'm exploring it, walking through my head, I guess, or my being. I don't know. But
Your
then I looked.
consciousness is in the Akash. Oh, I'm going to say something I don't want to
No,
say.
no, wait. Let me finish though.
Okay, all right.
Then I looked at the, because it was like a spotlight coming down. And I looked to the edges, and it was vast. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all the area that I have not yet brought to light.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Dolly.
I learned something in the
Lay
Akashic
it on me.
Library. I used to go in there, and there's a big tree in there. And it's full of gems and jewels and stuff for leaves, okay? And it's totally golden light coming out of it, pure white golden light. And I sit under this tree and I read, okay? And I read all kinds of stuff from the Akashic Library. One day I realized that I have a drawer in there, a whole drawer. And I'm thinking, why? Why do I have a drawer? And I went up to it with my book and I said, I want to put this back and look for something else. And the voice said to me, okay. And I was like, oh no, that didn't sound affirmative at all. And I started to pull the drawer open and boom, my whole head exploded with pure white light in the room you're talking about. And I was literally pulling the door to source open in front of myself. That the Akashic Library is the door to source for you to go visit without going dead into source while you're OBE. And I was like, do I want to do this? And I slowly slid it shut. No. And I asked more times than I could tell you for a long time. And I finally got the answer. I said, look, I'm not giving up until I get an answer. I'm just not giving up. You got to answer me now. I got to know. And it finally came back.
She's never doesn't give up.
No. And the voice came back to me and it said, you're here with us right now. You are already here. You don't need to backtrack. You're forward right now. Do what you got to do. And I went, oh, okay. And I snapped. I realized that's right. We are all in source. Every last one of us are from there, and we're projecting out. And to backtrack to source, you can OB and go anywhere you want, learn anything you want, but don't take that last step because until you break free of this body, because you're going to go back to source then, and you don't want to give up your chance at whatever your life you're living, wherever you're living it. And I thought, okay, I got it. Okay. And but it was a big deal. I mean, when you open that door and the light hits you in the face and you're in it and you realize, uh-oh, and I just slowly slid it shut. It's like, okay, you don't have to explain this to me. I got it. And it blew my mind, though. It blew my mind. And you went in it, Preston.
Yeah, it's amazing, Preston.
They went in.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Everything that you know, everything you are is in source. That's like
so cool.
Yeah.
Another time I just popped out and I'm walking through my living room. I popped out of body, I should say, just to be clear. I'm just walking through. I'm like, oh, the cord. I want to see the cord. Because I love doing these experiments. Someone asked me, what do you wear clothes? Turns out I do. I'm actually undressed out of body just to check myself out. Yeah, it's all normal. But yeah, I had this. It was coming right out of my navel. The cord was, and I felt it, and I could actually feel it in my physical. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I was feeling it in my physical body, laying in bed while I'm kind of out of body as well. But it wasn't just one thing. It was a million little tiny threads all bundled up together. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. So here is a question from Gizmo, and that kind of ties to all this. What are your thoughts about after death, life after death, I guess?
Yeah, we just keep living, I guess, because that's what I feel. I don't feel we stop living, even though we go and we pass over. No, we continue because we're already ready for. Exactly.
I remember exactly my last life. I remember when I died, how I died, what happened to me after I died. I remember awake. I mean, I went from the body and I went straight back. And I remember sitting there quietly for a long time and thinking about everything. Because I was a little PO'd because I died young. I was in my early 40s, 41. And I had a heart attack. I dropped dead, standing up, walking to a room and went. And I had a really good life. I enjoyed my life. And I was like, is this it? What the heck? And I was very confused about why it ended abruptly. And it took me a good minute to get over myself about it. And then the next thing I know, I'm being approached to talk about everything and to remember who I was for real, to drop the connection to the physical body of who I was and to go straight for who I really was.
Yeah,
And then you
exactly.
start to see everything and you got a lot of decisions to make and a lot to talk about. It's like going through a huge debrief that everybody's there to love you, hold you, bring you back in the fold. You know, you can see and do anything in source that you want to. And
Yeah,
it's a matter of just dropping back into pure love and realizing who you really are and enjoying it, you know, until you decide you're going to bank back out.
yeah.
And, I don't remember being born into this life because they drugged my mother, heavily drugged her. And by the time my consciousness started thinking about things, I realized like I was a couple of weeks old. And I remember staring at my foot and thinking, okay,
It's amazing we can remember that far back. This is something I noticed with contactees. You guys
Yeah.
have memories. See, I kind of faded into existence at about age 4 or 5. I remember that. Well, I started to remember, actually, I should say, much earlier
Yeah,
to where I was a couple of months old. I did. Because
yeah.
they do things to you when you're a little baby that are painful, shots and things like this. I don't want to get into the gory details, but I remember it.
life's a crucible, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely remember it. I think there's a reason people don't like needles. It's because they keep sticking needles in you when you're a little baby.
Yeah, you do. No, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
So,
What about synchronicities? I saw that in, yeah.
yeah.
Like synchronicity, life with supernatural events.
Synchronicity.
Ghosts and aliens, touch of it, synchronicity. Remote
Yeah.
viewing, we haven't touched on
Yeah.
that either.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's so much to talk about. Oh my God.
Telepathy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's do synchronicity, remote viewing, and telepathy.
That's a lot. Okay.
Well, not all
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it.
But synchronicity is like things just happen on the same time, simultaneously, uh, with other stuff in life as well. It's like you do, oh, so it is. I have several experiences with my twin sister as well. We do this same stuff on the same time, and or you do stuff and you see it in the television as well. It confirms you in a way. You actually just sat there and realized stuff. It was said in the television, or it was said on the radio, or it stood in the book. It was written in a book or something. It's quite amazing to experience things like that. So synchronicity for me is you are more in touch somehow with your well, how
Yeah.
can I explain that?
Affirmations.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
affirmations. Yeah. It's like
Exactly,
you're
right?
getting an affirmative response to
Yes,
something that you got. And it's like,
exactly.
you're good, you're on track, you know what you're doing. It's
Exactly.
an affirmation. It's the
Yeah.
it's the
It's a pat
universe.
on the back from the universe,
Yeah.
from God.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
giving you a little,
And that's
you're on the
absolutely
right path.
amazing. Yeah.
That's kind of how
It's
I
amazing to
feel.
experience that. It is,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I
I
love
So,
it.
I have a twin sister, but she's not here. Okay.
no.
And
Yeah.
so I went through my whole life knowing there was another one like me and
Yeah.
that we were separated and I
Mhm.
kept looking for her. I drove my mom crazy about it. She finally broke down when I turned 18 and handed me papers that
Oh,
showed I was
yeah.
a twin and with a missing twin. And I'm
Yeah.
missing. The umbilical cord was there, but she was gone.
Yeah.
And it took ET to teach me what happened in the end, you know, when I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I found out, I was like, well, dang. And I decided to cite, and let's go to psychic real quick, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is how we know all that we know.
Yeah.
It's our connection to everything. It's our connection to everything. Your psychic ability is not something you turn off and on. You're born with it. It
Mm.
exists.
We shouldn't even really call it psychic. It's just plain awareness. It's who we,
It's awareness, who we
Exactly.
really are.
Right.
it's who we are
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I got the affirmation that I was not wrong, that I am absolutely okay, I know this, I decided to try to make contact with her. And that began the journey to get to know who she was. She
Yeah.
would contact
Wow.
me back.
Yeah.
And we finally got to meet up. And it shocked me because
Yeah.
she has no boo-boos on her body, nowhere. She never got sick like I did or had all the accidents that I had because I live here and she didn't. And it was a shock, you know?
Yeah.
And we stood there staring at one another. But what I saw was that we were absolutely 100% connected in a way that I can't even
Yeah.
understand, even to this minute. It is
Mm.
unexplainable why we are connected like this. We're not the
Yeah.
same person. We're two different people, but we
Mhm.
have a wide open connection that is undeniable. It does
Yeah.
not go away. It will. It's like a mother to a child almost,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Wow.
it's wild to
Yeah.
understand what that is. But
Yeah.
it brings it home to you what psychic really means or what your
Yes.
consciousness is. Because we're all talking to everybody anyway. Most of
Yeah.
the people here, if you're in New York and you're thinking about me because you've seen me on a podcast, trust me, it's hitting my brain pan. I
Mhm.
know that
Yeah.
it's coming at me. And if I think back at you, you got to be picking that up. And it's universal all over the whole universe.
Absolutely correct. This
You
is
know,
how it works. Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll be watching Jeopardy and they'll put up the category. I guess the answer before they even ask the question. I'm like, wow, did you do that?
Yeah.
You already got it. It's a
That happened the
strange
other day.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh,
Yep.
it's so much
Perfect.
fun. I love it. And that's
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
amazing. Absolutely.
Synchronicities are
Yeah.
so
But
cool.
I have the same feeling with my twin sister as well. We are that close in energy.
Yep.
Wow.
It's
That must be
fantastic.
so nice.
Yeah.
Does she have all the same kinds of experiences you do?
She also have experiences, not in the same way like me, but she has experiences as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
would
You're
make
still
sense.
two. You're still two entities or beings
Yeah. Yeah.
going on your particular path. Okay.
Yeah.
But the connection is so tight that
Yeah.
if she experiences, you feel it, or if you
Yes.
experience it, she feels it. That I
Exactly.
rapidly learned.
Are you
Yeah.
left-handed, Heidi, or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
What about your twin?
Right-handed.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
interesting. Is
Yeah.
she
I'm
Yeah.
a mirror image.
identical or
We
fraternal?
are identical twins.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
I'm lefty, and my twin is a righty.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. We're mirror image. In other
Yeah.
words, that's the way it's split, I guess, the
Yeah.
eggs. And I think with my right brain, and she thinks with her left.
Yeah.
And if she hits herself on the face here, I feel it on the other side.
Well,
It's weird. Yeah,
that is weird.
I know she's doing it though. It's
Yeah.
weird.
All right, so synchronicities, now remote viewing.
Yeah. But
Tell us.
remote viewing is absolutely also amazing because I also call that clairvoyance, if you like to use that word. Okay,
Yeah.
it's absolutely the
What did
same
you call it?
thing for
Clairaudience?
me. No, clairvoyance. Actually,
Clairvoyance.
it's just the same thing, you know. But what I call it is you attach yourself to the energy, to all there is out there, and that's how you know things.
Right.
Okay, so when you are connected to that really that source, you will see everything in detail. And when you go past, as I did with one of my experiences with Lady, when I was out walking her with the reptilian and everything, I went back to see it because back at that time I was only 7, 8, 9, 10 years old at the time. So if I have seen the reptilian standing in front of me back then, I would have died of shock, I think. I wasn't ready to see it back then, okay? So I went back to see what happened, and then I saw the reptilian clear as day, so I could see how it looks like, right?
Yeah, you
You
bring
can
up
use that to, if you want to go to a country, you can use that. You will see everything in details.
your
I was
consciousness.
one
Yeah.
time I was actually asked for one of my friends to say, "Hi, what do you see?" And I described the total scenery, the mountain in the background, the scenery, the house, and everything. And she was just, "Wow." And that's remote viewing. It's also called clairvoyance. I think you are just attached to this true source of everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can call it many things, but you are attached to God. You are attached to that energy that's
Well, I
everywhere.
remember in the last show we
Okay,
did with you, you talked
yeah,
about finding a lost girl,
yeah. Finding a lost boy.
lost boy.
It
So
was a lost boy. Yeah.
was that, would you say you
No.
use remote viewing for that? Or
It,
clairvoyance?
I what I did was I asked God for help actually in that situation because we were out looking for him. It was a young dark skinned young man. Okay, he was a little retarded, so we had to find him. He needed our help. Okay, so when I did that, when we have gone around a couple of hours trying to find him, I suddenly in the car I said, God, you need to help me. You need to help me find this young man, or he will die because it was so cold outside. And then suddenly, out of the blue, there came a light beam from where? It just came like that. And
Uh,
it drew a map through the area. And I just said, stop the car. I need to go out here. Because I knew I had to follow that energy light I saw. And I did that. And I ran after that. And her mom just right behind me as well. She, do you know where you're going, Ed? Yeah, I know.
hmm,
And I just ran all I could. Okay. And then I was at that area, a pitch black area, as I told you about, a residential area. I
Yeah.
thought, oh my God, you can't be lost in this area because you are dark in skin. It's pitch black night. How can I find you? But every time I tried to move myself, God stopped me and made me stop where I was and call out loud his name. First time there was no
hmm,
no, he
Yeah.
didn't react to that.
Yeah.
But then I tried to take another step. God prevented me. You feel
hmm,
that energy. Poof, you just stand there. You can't move because it's God helping you. And then I did it
wow.
again and really uh, shouted out his name very, very high out there. And then there was a reaction. And finally, we found him.
Yeah.
Hmm,
That was the help of God. He actually draw a map out of the light beam coming where to go through that area. And I did.
That's
I found it.
amazing. That's an
Yeah.
intervention.
Well, have you
Yeah.
ever used remote viewing to like find a lost object? Like, where did I put my car keys? Or,
Something I just ask you, because sometimes I ask the aliens or I ask God, oh, where's that? I need to find it. Oh, there's there. Thank you so much for showing me. So I get it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do that, but I do it just like that. Okay. Because when you do that all your life, it becomes a natural thing for you to do that. You just use the
right.
wonderful help you have a hand. They help you. They're
Yeah.
more than willing to help you because they know also who you are, what you're doing, how far you are in your development, and they just help you to get further and further all
Mhm.
the way. And it's amazing to experience. It's wonderful. I love being alive right now and experience all of these amazing things that I do. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes living
Yeah.
in this world so much easier, I think.
Eh, eh.
'Cause this is a tough world to live in, I
Yeah.
think, in some ways,
Yeah, it is.
but there's love and there's
Yeah.
joy in each day.
Yeah. There is absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
All right, well, that's so interesting. And
Yeah.
telepathy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Sounds
As a
interesting. I've had some
telepathy.
instances of telepathy for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I remember I was training a new girl at work, and I really just kind of vibed with her. You know, we really just got along. She was funny and kind, and she kept turning to me. She's like, "You
Yeah.
just said what I was thinking," and then it
Yeah.
happened to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I was just thinking that."
Yeah.
And she kept humming the Twilight Zone. She go, "Doo, doo, 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 doo." I'm like, "No, no, this is normal. This is natural. This is the way we should be." 'Cause we had some. We would just laugh. It was so much fun. I
Yeah.
love it when telepathy happens because you're like tuning in.
Yeah,
You're
you are.
listening. It's yeah,
Yeah.
you're hearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
You're on. That
Yeah,
we just all need to be on at the same time, you know?
So have
exactly.
tell me a
Exactly.
few experiences you've had with telepathy. I'm sure
Oh,
there's
several, many. I have actually had one with a man one time in the same room. He was standing at the other end of the table. We were not open our mouths talking. We were talking telepathically. It was amazing to experience that. I knew what he thought about, and he knew what I thought about, and we just smiled to each other. We just knew that we were talking to each other telepathically. That was amazing to experience, and that I was able to do that with another human being like that without saying something here,
Right.
but it was just here, all of it, right? It was fantastic to witness. And but I have, when the aliens talk to you, it's telepathy. When God talks to you, it's telepathy,
Yeah.
because you experience everywhere you go, you hear that little voice. That's telepathy as well, right? You can. I have, yeah, I can't tell you. I have so many experiences with that. So where to start? Because
Yeah.
when you experience that, it's amazing. Because I just had one. I had one in April last year with the aliens. They talked to me and said, because I know they are not much here at all. Sometimes I miss them a lot, I miss them being around here. Okay. So sometimes I say, where are you? I want to see you. Where are you? Okay. And I asked that question. And in the evening, I saw a spacecraft, little spacecraft with 3 aliens in it. And the one in the middle said to me, Heidi, we will be there tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay, I said, wonderful. And then they were gone back again. They were away again. Okay. And the very next day, I sat in the car. I had been at a nephew's birthday that day, and I was being driven back to the railway station where I had to go back. And suddenly, I saw a huge crowd there. Firstly, to the right of me in the car, and I said, "Stephen, do you see it? They're here. Did you see it? They're here." I was so excited about it because I saw them, right? And then again, when I drove around the corner, I saw them again, and this time that way. It was a large one. It had this, it was formed like that, a cigar shaped kind of form. I can't tell you that it was like that, okay, and was like horizontal like that, right? And I just said, "Oh, they are there. Stephen, did you see them there?" I was so eager. I was so excited about it. And of course, they were gone fast again. But they just had to do
Yeah.
that. They say, "We are there," and they are gone again because they
Yeah,
can't
they're
be here.
showing you themselves in light.
Exactly.
They're not physically here, but they've broadcast to you. See
Exactly,
them that way.
exactly. That's what they did, and that was amazing to watch. I was so happy. So yeah, they were they were there, right? So they talk to you like that, and that's telepathy for me, because they talk to you for a very high
You know
distance.
what I call
But
telepathy? I call it broadcasting and
it's
receiving.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's what it is. You're just broadcasting
That's
and
correct.
receiving,
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
you're
A
the
good way to put
transmitter
it.
and the receiver at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're just walking around in a soup of everything every day, all the time.
Yeah.
And you just gotta
Exactly.
listen,
Exactly.
be open to it.
Yeah, you have to. So, and if you always attune in like that, oh my God, your life will be full of wonderful experiences
You're never
in
bored.
every area of life, right?
Yep.
Just open up to it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is definitely key. Just relaxing,
Yeah.
relaxation, meditation, quieting your mind, all
Yeah.
of these things.
Yeah.
So you're working on we've got like 5 minutes left.
And oh my God, time has gone by so
Oh my
fast.
God.
So
Wow.
you're
Yeah,
working
I'm
on a new
actually,
book, right?
I have written, my next book is almost ready. So stay tuned. I will guess within the next 14 days, if I'm lucky, it will be published. Okay.
Woo.
So I have written a new book, same size like book number 3 in the same series, Alive with Supernatural Events.
Which is
Yeah,
cool, by the
exactly.
way.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. It will be around the same amount of pages, around 300, I guess, pages in that book as well. And it's an amazing book, because I have to tell you, you can actually follow from the beginning to the end of that book how I develop throughout the book,
Oh,
what
that's
happens to me
wow.
throughout the book exactly.
Okay.
And it was a journey for me to write this down because something happened to me, like, right, Dolly? Something
Right.
happened to me that was amazing,
Yeah.
and I was electrified. It was all the wisdom I had throughout my life was renewed for me. I suddenly saw everything in another light, and
Yep.
I understood everything much, much better,
Yep.
even though I've known before, but
Right.
now I know
Yeah.
much more for
You
sure.
just
Okay.
your
It
understanding opens up and it elevates. You become
exactly,
wiser. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that was has happened to me, and I know now for sure that we are what we call a conscious visualizer and manifester in our own life. We create our own lives ourselves. So what you think about, please let it be positivity, because then you create a wonderful life for yourself.
Yep.
You always have to think that with a positive mind, with love.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
do that. And that's what God has shown me lately. He showed me how close I am with him
Mhm.
because of the golden energy was in my body, and he stood behind me like his arms inside me, but he is kind of a hug actually, and something
Wow.
telling me, Heidi, we are that close. Okay. So I experienced more and more what he wanted me to experience, because what he wanted for me to experience. And I think we all will have that wonderful experience. We just need to open up for it, and you will have a life that is
That's right.
surprisingly amazing. Yeah. And
Very
so
cool.
different. And so different.
So where can people get your books?
Yeah, you can
Where
find
where
me
can
on
people find you? Yeah.
yeah, you can find me on Amazon because you just need to look out for Life of Supernatural Events. You will find my books there. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 will be ready very soon. I also have a book called Inner Wisdom, Inner Voice. Sorry, Gems of Wisdom. That's also amazing because that's all in my Epic Dreams and Prayers, where
You've
I've
got
written
quite a
about
few
some of the
books up there.
yeah, quite a few books, and this yeah that one as well because there are miracles and everything in that book as well that had happened throughout my life. So it's kind of what you want to read about because my life, a life with supernatural events, contains all of my experiences, kind of way, in the paranormal stuff, in the spiritual stuff, and everything. And you can find all of them on Amazon and just look Life with Supernatural Events. You can look that up. You can find me on my website, godinspired.one, as well, where you can read about my books and my life journey as well and share some of your experiences if you like. You're also most welcome to contact me through email and talk to me if you like. You're more than welcome to do so. So you
Oh,
can write to heidi.hansen9 at gmail.com. You're more than welcome to do so. So please, if you have questions or anything, you're more than welcome to contact me. Okay.
oh, that's very sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it when people reach out to me because it's nice to connect with people,
Yeah, it is.
especially people who
Absolutely.
are of like minds and
Yeah.
interested in these subjects. This has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Really,
And so, yeah.
I
I
know.
know.
Gosh, it must be like close to 5 a.m. Would it be now?
Yeah. It's no, it's 2 minutes
4,
to 4. 2 minutes to
4
4.
a.m. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
So thank you, Heidi. That's
Yeah.
Very
amazing that
much.
you were able to do this for us.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. I love you guys.
And
So
just so you know, you're
absolutely.
coming back again. We're going to work out a date
Yeah, I would
in
love
the near
that.
future.
Yeah, when you get your new
Yeah.
book out,
Yeah, exactly.
that'll be perfect. We can talk
Yeah,
about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
exactly.
So
We can
anything
do
else?
that.
We still got 1 more minute. Any last messages for the folks out there?
No, just be true to yourself. Just what show the love you have inside of you to people. Remember always to tell them that you love them. Don't ever regret what you do. Follow your dreams. That's very important. And mostly listen within. It's the most important thing you can do in your life. It will transform you and you will be absolutely great at it because you have that born gift inside of you.
Yep.
So open your eyes, guys. You have everything at your feet. You have everything, okay,
I love
within
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw some questions we couldn't get to, but yeah, email Heidi. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer
yeah,
them. All right.
exactly.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah,
That was
you're
unbelievable.
welcome.
All right, thanks, guys. It's amazing. Thank you so much for all the wonderful donations,
Thank
Raul.
you.
We love
Yeah.
you so much. You guys, this helps so much.
Bless
Namaste. I don't know how you do it. We love you to the ends of the universe and beyond. Louise, you're
Love you.
amazing.
Yeah.
You guys just make our Mondays so beautiful and bright. Thank you, Sunny. Really appreciate it, Becky. You guys really just came through tonight. So thank you, thank you. This means so much. Really warms our heart. It's so inspiring.
Me.
So thank you, Janie. Thank you, Lunar. You guys are all amazing. Thank you. All
Absolutely.
right, Dolly, I guess it's time to take us out.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming to us on this beautiful Monday night in February. We love you all. We are coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans in Louisiana at the United Public Radio Network at 107.7 FM and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 FM. We are on Facebook, we are on Roku, we are on Rumble, and we're on YouTube. And I want you all to have a very happy, joyous, positive, forward thinking week. Remember that you are your most important inspiration, aspiration, all of it. You from you, come from your core. Look for the things you need, it'll be given to you. Ask all of it, you'll be shown. We love you. Mwah. Namaste, everybody. Night, night.
I love all these comments. You guys are amazing.